Hi, my name is George Daniel. I'm here as librarian and speaker.
My name is Naufal Faturrachman and I'm a scriptwriter.
My name is Yusya. In this group, I am a scriptwriter and librarian.
My name is Fakhrur Raaziy. My job is the librarian and the speaker.
Hello, my name is Amira Putri Kalila. I'm here as a librarian and editor.
Hi, my name is Maulidia Rizky. I'm here as a library and editor. Thank you.
The 1955 Indonesian legislative election was the first election that was held on 1955 in Indonesia. This election is oftenly considered as the most democratic election in Indonesia. The election was held while our national security condition is unconducive. Several areas have been severely damaged by chaos caused by DITI or Darul Islam, which was led by Kartosuwiryo. In the situation, members of Indonesian armed forces and police officers also involved. They were responsible for patrolling in every vulnerable area until the election goes well. Meanwhile, in 2019, several crowds stated that 2019 election, which was held on the 5th of April, was one of the worst elections to ever be held since the Reformation era and the New Order era. To look deeper into this issue, there were 527 souls of our brothers and sisters who served our country that were taken away, and over 11,200 people were wounded. It was also heavily suspected that there were 400,000 envelopes containing dirty money used to bribe electorates, or in Indonesian terms, we call it serangan fajar.
There were two objectives for the 1955 elections. First, the purpose of the 1955 general election was to elect members of the DPR. The purpose of the second 1955 general election was to elect members of the Constituent Assembly. The People's Representative Council, or DPR, is one of the high state institutions in the Indonesian constitutional system, which is a people's representative institution. The DPR consists of members of political parties participating in the general election who are elected through general elections. While the Constituent Assembly is a representative council, whose task is to form a new constitution for the Republic of Indonesia to replace the 1950 Provisional Constitution. This council met in Bandung between November 1956 until it was dissolved by President Sukarno through a presidential decree on 5 July 1959. The 1955 election was held twice based on the selected subjects. The peak of the 1955 general election fell on September 29, 1955 and December 15, 1955. At that time, Indonesian people flocked to the voting booths to channel their voting rights. For 2019, the legislative elections were held on April 17, 2019 and held in conjunction with the 2019 Indonesian presidential election.
Participants in the 1955 general election did not only come from political parties, but also mass organizations and individual candidates. The election for DPR members was attended by 36 parties, 34 mass organizations, and 48 individual candidates. These contestants are fighting for 260 seats in the DPR. Meanwhile, the election for the Constituent Assembly was attended by 39 political parties, 23 mass organizations, and 29 individual candidates. The contestants for the election of the constituent members are fighting for 520 constituent seats. Election participants begin to be able to nominate candidates for members of the DPR and Constituent Assembly in December 1955. In 2019, there were 575 members of the People Representative Council or DPR, 136 members of the Regional Representative Council or DPD, and members of the Regional People's Representative Council, Provincial DPRD, and Regency or City DPRD throughout Indonesia for the 2019 until 2024 period, including the presidential election.
The 1955 general election was not continued according to the schedule for the next 5 years. This is because on July 5, 1959, a presidential decree was issued dissolving the Constituent Assembly and a declaration of return to the 1945 Constitution. Then, on June 4, 1960, Sukarno dissolved the DPR as a result of the 1955 general election. After previously, the Legislative Council had rejected the government's proposed RAPBN. President Sukarno unilaterally, through a decree of 5 July 1959, formed the DPR Gotong Royong, or DPR-GR, and the Provisional MPR, or MPRS. All House members were appointed by the President. In the 2019 election, riots occurred on May 21 until 22, 2019, limited to clashes between the masses and the apparatus around Sarinah and Tanah Abang. Starting from the demonstration of supporters of the presidential candidate pair Prabowo Subianto and vice presidential candidate Sandiaga Uno, who lost to Joko Widodo Ma'ruf Amin. In fact, more than 4,000 people were arrested for this incident, and several sharp weapons and Molotov cocktails were found. Even though the riots lasted for a long time, the police were finally able to solve the problem.